We got that sexy announcer voice.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to
Cracker Barrel? Oh, sorry.
Hearthsinger Tales. To Cracker Barrel. Yeah. An affiliate of Cracker Barrel. # sponsored. It's not, but call me. Call us. Call all of us.
Don't call me.
Don't at me.
Call Ann.
Listen, if Cracker Barrel wants to sponsor an incredible romp through the Feywild, I'll take their money. I'll do it.
They're probably still in the firm, like, satanic panic camp when it comes to D&D.
Yeah.
Like, I doubt they'd be super chill with this.
Honestly, they will super be feeling that way after tonight's episode. So, yeah, maybe it's not a good fit.
Are we summoning demons and devils?
You don't know what it means.
Why would you tell us that?
I don't know. You could summon anything you want. It's D&D. Let's go.
I'd like a unicorn, please.
Okay. Well, I'd like a lot of things, but I think the first thing, in case our listeners, our dear sweet listeners, don't know, is these absolute goons have leveled to level 4. That is the celebratory noise that you will receive in your ear holes.
That is.
Amazing.
Enjoy. You're welcome.
But I think before we start our little small talk sesh, maybe that's its official name now. Do we have a cool segment?
I mean, I'm down with the alliteration. That's good.
I would like to know what you all chose for your cool level 4 stuff. Everybody roll a d20.
Are we doing initiative for...
Roll initiative, because that's the order in which you'll tell me.
Oh. Was there more than one thing to choose?
Depends on your class.
5.
2.
I rolled a 3.
Do we talk at the same time?
I don't think that's good for podcast etiquette.
I mean, I'll take my -1 initiative mod that Brock has, so I'll be a 2.
We're doing so good.
We're just getting them all out now.
Pan.
Wait, didn't somebody get a 5?
I got a 5. Hello, I'm a star.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Endo, I didn't see you there.
First of all, you better check your eyesight, bitch, because you better come correct.
I shine bright like a diamond.
I hate myself. Okay, so I went with a feat because I love suboptimal characters. So instead of raising my spellcasting modifier like a good cleric, I decided to take the observant feat instead.
That's good, though.
But also, my passive perception is a 21. I'm a monster now.
I don't love that for me and any surprise rounds I intended to have ever again.
I love it for the rest of us, though.
Okay, now Pan.
Well, I am not one to stop the suboptimal train, so I also took a feat. But this was kind of, I can't give too much away with the spoilers and the stuff, but I figured this was in line. So I went Fey Touched. You might like this. Should I tell the spell? Should I say what I picked?
Yeah, reveal.
Gift of Gab.
Love it.
Nice.
Oh, I'm not Gift of Gab. I'm sorry. Silvery Barbs. The talking thingy. Whatever. It's the same thing.
This is what happens when you play too many systems. We all just think it's right.
Silvery Barbs. It's totally the same thing as Gift of Gab. Yep.
Silvery Barbs, according to Reddit, it's too good. Don't at me, because we recorded this weeks ago. That's the biggest spoiler around. You can't stop us.
I mean, hey, if you want to get the best of takes, you definitely get them from Reddit. That is the place to go for absolute accuracy in all of the takes. Yeah.
Yeah. Brock, tell me of your new ways.
Well, if everyone could please give me their tickets, because I am now the conductor of the suboptimal train, having also taken a feat.
Let's
go. Choo choo.
Golf clap, golf clap.
We love feet. I mean, what?
What?
We do. Also coupling with a very, very nice result on the hit dice roll, Brock is continuing his position as the party's tank, having taken Sentinel.
He's a Brock. House.
Nice.
One of the best feats in the game.
You saying that mine's not the best feat in the game?
I said one of the best feats in the game. You know what? It's one of another one of the best feats in the game. Chef. Underrated. Y'all put chefs in your game. It's fun as hell.
Yeah, actually, that came up. That was a consideration.
Well, Daria,
I got nothing better than conductor. Can I be like the demigod of the suboptimal train? Because I also took a feat.
Oh my god.
Shocking.
Hanging loose in the caboose, bringing up the train.
Ayo.
You can be the official. You could be the bartender on the train in the dining car. Is this metaphor getting away from us, mayhaps? Should we try again, Daria?
Slap my ass and take me to Cracker Barrel. I also took a feat.
Jesus Christ, Diana.
I don't think they let you do that at Cracker Barrel.
Do you want to know what I took or not?
I want to know.
I do. I want to know.
I texted Anne and I was like, I took the most Daria spell in the entire universe. I took Dissonant Whispers.
Beautiful.
Oh, yes.
Felt very right. So, now that we're all suboptimal, guess we'll die.
Guess we'll find out what happens.
I almost do basically every episode, so...
That's true. That's true.
Ah, yes, but that, my dear, is the blood hunt away.
Yeah.
Let's dive into tonight's episode of Courts of Crystal. Pwomp womp.
Was that the Law and Order sound? Boom, boom.
Yeah, that was an attempt at one.
It's a little bit the law. Okay, it's fine.
Legally distinct.
Legally distinct. Womp womp.
All
right.
I can't hear that ever again until I know more.
Guys, D&D is a very serious game. If you've never played, this is not the podcast to listen to.
This is expert tier play.
Yep.
In fact, I need you all to get very serious, okay? Don't laugh. No more laughing. We're entering a flashback.
Oh shit.
Whose flashback do you think it is? I'll tell you, it's not Endo's.
Brock.
It's not Brock. It's not Daria.
Oh no.
Who does that leave?
Lord Chadimus Duchuk III.
That's true.
Yes.
It is. It does leave Chad Duchuk. But no. Pandora, why don't you step into my office? We find ourselves atop a grassy hill in the midst of a windswept prairie environment. A group of adventurers stands apart from a woman dressed in traveling leathers kneeling beside a young tabaxi girl with a tiger's shape and markings. I know that this is hard, but you must go with them, Neytiri.
But do I have to?
Your father is dead for now, but he could come back and he could come looking for you.
He'll come to you. He'll get you.
You know me well enough to know that I have a certain set of skills for hiding, but I think it will be easier if we separate from one another. And that way, if he comes looking for a mother and child, I mean, we stand out together, but apart, we may have a chance.
I don't want to be apart from you. Can't we could go hide together. I'll look different. I won't look so obvious.
You will always have your mother's love, Neytiri.
She just starts crying.
She throws her arms around you. She's holding you so tightly and so close that you can feel the sobs in her chest fighting to get out, and she is tamping them down for you, trying to be strong so that you can be too.
Just kind of muffled sobs.
Oh, my sweet girl, you must be strong. Be strong.
And you feel the warmth of her hand as she turns your face up towards her, and she just reads all of your expression, all of your fear and your sadness, and you begin to see tears fill her eyes as well. It's at this moment that one of the people from the group on the hill just beyond you begins to move in your direction. You can see him over your mother's shoulder, otherworldly in his movements. A tall, absolutely beautiful Eladrin man, a high elf, dark skin that when the sunlight touches the high cheekbones on his face sort of sparkles with a gentle lavender shade. He's dressed in gossamer purple robes that show the strength and beauty of his open chest, and you can see a small mirror pendant hanging there in the V of his robes. There are several rows of braided dark hair that sort of draw up from his features and then fall back over the back of his head and across his shoulders as he approaches. You note the long ears and the kind and curious silver eyes. He doesn't seem to want to interrupt, but eventually he clears his throat. It is time. Itzaki is ready. And we see a tall, skinny Goliath man with a tuning fork tapping it against his knife as if to test and listen to the vibrations very carefully. And this elven man looks at your mother and says, "The less you know about where we're going and who she will be there, the better. It's time." And she tries to be strong, but you can see the tears are swelling in her eyes as she takes you in and rustles the white fur along the edge of your jaw and gives you one last scritch for luck.
Wait. How? I don't want to forget you.
Somehow this draws a smile from within your mother. And with a trembling lower lip, she pulls your hood up over your head, and she pulls up her own, and she presses your forehead to hers, and she says, "Neytiri, no one ever forgets their mother."
Don't forget me then.
And she says, "I must forget." She looks anxiously between you and the Eladrin waiting beside you. "Kitten, I must. But one day, you will find me, and we will be safe, and all of this will be over, and you will remind me who my daughter is, and show me who she has become." And she growls lovingly at you, trying to rouse your blood, encourage your bravery, but even that falters just a bit.
I kind of look back for a second at the group that I'm going with, and then look back and try, hopefully before it's too late, to just kind of call out, promise?
Your words only find the wind when you look back to where your mother once stood. There is no one there. A warm hand rests on your shoulder. "Oh, mon petit cher, you seem like you could use an adventure."
Kind of wipes the tears from her fur and tries to be strong, even though you can tell that she's barely holding it together and just can't find a voice just yet, and just kind of nods.
"An adventurer needs a name. You should choose yours. What do you want us to call you?"
She kind of thinks back about a story that her mom told her about things left unfound. Pandora.
"Ah, that is a very good one. Nice to meet you, Pandora. I am Nuvain, and I am going to show you someplace very, very beautiful. Come." The fingers of his hand extend to you like a blossom opening to the sun.
She takes it.
"Nuvain, get over here! Do you want us to leave without you?" The magic of the moment is somewhat broken as he glances up the hill and throws up a hand to let his friends know that you're coming. And he says, "Don't worry about him. That's Itzhak. He'll grow on you, I think." He gives your hand a reaffirming squeeze and begins walking with you up the hillside and towards a new destiny. How's it going, everybody? Thank you so much for choosing to come and adventure with us on this podcast. We are having the best time telling this story. We could not do that without the support of subscribers over on the Hearthsinger Games Patreon, so a special thanks to all of them out there if they are listening. Big news this week for us is that we launched our Hearthsinger Tales website. That's hearthsingertales.com. There's a contact form if you want to send us any feedback or thoughts about the show. There's also reviews from folks who have said nice things about what we're making. So if you're looking for other points of view to share with folks who you think might enjoy the show and to try to convince them to give us a chance, by all means, head to our page and pull up the reviews and share them with anyone who will listen to you. And speaking of reviews, that is one of the most important things you can do for us right now. Head over to Spotify, to Apple Podcasts, Podcast Addict, Overcast, any of the platforms that you might be listening to our show on. Please take your time to rate and review the show, because that pushes us in the algorithm, which means that it's easier for new earholes to find our insanity. Speaking of insanity, let's get back to the show. We are back in the present day.
I wasn't ready.
How's everybody doing?
I'm gonna throw up.
Endo, you good?
I'm gonna throw up right now.
Did you say Itzhak, Mind Killer? Did you say that name?
That wasn't always his name.
Cool.
You all have gathered yourselves, collected yourselves, taken at least a short rest. Why not a short rest? Before you head out of this labyrinthine temple to Loth. And with a shudder, Pandora, you feel the wind in your face rippling through your fur in this moment as you step out onto the floating island surface outside of this horrible place.
You see her look very confused for a second. Where are we?
Oh, that's right. You did not come with us.
How far away are we from anything?
You know where? It's.
Oh, well.
Brock? Well.
We're not too far from the tree. It's just a little bit over that way. It's just the ground around here. Apparently it's sort of broke a bit. I'm not entirely certain.
She gets more concerned as this delay of an answer is happening.
Ah oui, exactement. It's not lost. We're just here, and we're gonna go back over there.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. It's not looking good.
Okay.
Is there somewhere in particular that you're hoping to get to?
No, just back to the tree. You said time has passed and I don't know the status of it, if I can help.
That's sort of why we're here.
So you're here to fix the tree?
Well, yes, in a way. We're figuring out what happened to it, and for a nominal fee on top of what we're already charging, perhaps we could repair it.
Well, we know what happened to it. I saw who did it. We can just... They'll probably come back here.
Yes, but you don't seem to remember anything about them or have a name or a description, so really that's sort of useless.
She goes to argue and then realizes that is very accurate and is like, I see.
Oh, Chad, thank God.
I totally wasn't sleeping, by the way, and you see Chad sort of rolling up a bedroll, and Mordecai, the dragonfly, is sort of like perched. And keep in mind, like, Mordecai is like an oversized dragonfly.
Mm-hmm.
I realize I didn't really give you any reference for size, but he's a little he is tiny. Mordecai is like, if God, what's the size differential?
Yeah, how big is Malachi?
Give it to us as a dog breed.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Malachi is the size of a Welsh corgi.
Oh, that's huge.
He big.
That makes more sense now, though, imagining Endo, like...
Listen!
Yeah, I thought it was like the size of a bat max. I was like, wow, this is magical as fuck. Talk about Feywild.
Okay, so I will totally cop to the fact that the very first time I came across pixies within D&D, I was shocked by how strong they were, and the fact that, like, a pixie, like Tinkerbell style, could just throw somebody across the room despite their size. And so I may have infused a little bit of that sensibility into Chad, despite him now being slightly larger than you guys, I guess, imagined, though I didn't do anything to really help you out there. So I guess what I'm saying is thanks for going with it, despite not having really any guidance from me, your fearless leader, as to what the scenario was.
Did we happen to get Pandora's name last episode? I can't remember if we even asked.
I think I purposefully kept it quiet. No one's asked.
Darling, do you have a name, something that we could call you?
I'm Pandora.
Pandora, that's lovely. I'm Daria. You can call me Mistress like Brock does, should you so choose. This is Brock.
Hello.
And Lady Endo.
Hello.
Nice to meet you all.
And this is
Hey, put it there. What's new, pussycat?
Chad.
Chad do chug. He extends his teeny little hand to you and then suddenly notices your paws.
Takes the whole paw, just absolutely encompasses the hand.
Wow! Those are huge hands. My God, the claws on there. Yeah, how often you get these detailed? These are very fine, very sharp.
She kind of just like immediately like hides her hand somewhere, like out of view. I don't really.
Chad, I don't think that you can just ask someone that.
You're right. My apologies.
Clearly, that's not just.
What? I can't compliment a lady anymore? What's going? I mean, I myself, Chad Chug, enjoy a manicure. Sue me. Now, the girl I used to go to is not around anymore. She was killed horribly in a nail salon accident, so I guess I'm shit out of luck these days.
While this is going on, I'm just gonna like nudge to the front, like mon tissu here, and I'm gonna like jot down the name of somebody near the edge of the amethyst wood. Like, just go see Rachel. She's wonderful. She'll take care of you.
What a fantastic recommendation. And you know, I don't want to brag about myself and my abilities, but I may be able to get you wherever it is you need to go to, like, solve this whole problemo, if you know what I mean.
So you're aware of it too?
Well, sweet cheeks, I mean, it is all you guys have pretty much been talking about since I met you. In your defense, you weren't there for the first bit, but now you are. And to catch you up, I was there when all of this, and he gesticulates with this grandiose motion of his hands out to all of the floating islands and the cracked earth and the path of desecration you all had left behind you on the opposite side. I was here when all of this kind of happened. So, in for a penny, in for a pound.
Was there a figure when you saw it?
There was like a bunch of shadows and a skeleton man who thought he was all that.
You realize that a figure is not necessarily a discerning trait with which we can use to eliminate people in this process. A figure, it's not helpful. Pandora.
Her ears flatten. I'm sorry, I figured if he saw something, maybe he saw more defining features.
I did see like a skull. motif on the face. Well, it was the face, now that I think about it.
Well, they're dead.
If I may, it seems like you all are operating without all the cookies in the cookie jar. What you need is knowledge. And there's one place in the Feywild that everyone goes to get knowledge that they don't yet possess. The Court of Influence.
I've been there.
Oh, wonderful. Well, it is where I am from, so I am a bit partial. But I think that if you did some research there, you might be able to massage the facts as we know them a little bit and get more answers as to how to combat all of this. And he sort of motions to the large labyrinth at your back. What do you say? I invite you over. We bang this thing out over lunch.
I mean, I would love a salad and perhaps a seltzer. That sounds delicious.
Does anybody have any other ideas, or is that kind of our only option?
We should probably go. I mean, I'm assuming that in the Court of Influence there's a large library, lots of expensive manuscripts, sacred texts, that kind of thing.
God, yes. And he just looks activated. Like, in a sensual manner, activated by this. I mean, the other thing is, we're not so much about it at the Court of Influence, but in the Court of Hunger, I mean, I don't have to tell you, those hags, super good at peering into people's thoughts, helping you come up with things you don't think you remember.
We don't need, we really don't need to go to the Court of Hunger. I assure you there's nothing amiss there. To the Court of Influence, then!
I'm gonna insight the heck out of that.
Yeah.
Go for
I
it!
would also like to wiggle my eyebrows behind Daria's back.
That's a 24.
25.
All right, Daria, go ahead and roll a deception check to counter their insights.
19.
Oh, a little 19. That's not gonna do it. All right, so what do they pick up from this, Daria?
I think they probably pick up maybe just a hint of like panic almost. You get the sense that Daria does not want you to go to the Court of Hunger. Whether or not it's because there's actually something wrong there is give or take. Like you can't really tell, but you get the distinct sense that Daria doesn't want you there.
And I would add on for our 25 scoring cleric in the group that you've been around Daria enough to see a hunger, an ambition, and the way that she presents herself is the way that someone seeking status sort of moves themselves to the front of a group to be in control of her own destiny. And it comes to mind that perhaps Daria doesn't want you going home with her so that you see how the sausage is made. Like, you're not going to invite friends over for dinner if you're embarrassed about like how your household functions or your family behaves, so that you can really see what her life is like and what other people think of her where she's from. She wants to maintain the way you see her now.
Okay, sure.
So many mixed metaphors there.
When you would bring home friends for dinner, did your parents make homemade sausage in front of your friends? Like,
Is that how?
Diana, you've met my parents and you know that they did that.
Oh my god.
actually, you know what? That does sound like something your dad would do. I rescind the question.
Also, hey Dad, if you're listening, love you lots. And I look forward to next Thanksgiving when I can try to explain to our family exactly what this podcast is. Enough, Dad. It's back to chat. I'm sorry, Mistress Daria. I didn't mean to push you. I can transport us to the Court of Influence to do some key research.
Okay, well, if Daria does not want to go to the Court of Hunger, then we should go to Influence. I trust they have spas and things like that there. For meditation, of course.
They have books, mostly.
Yes, but you can read a book in a spa.
I mean, reading a book in the bath by candlelight. Mwah!
See? Chat understands.
Mordecai loves that shit.
Okay, well, that's weird. Okay, we should go. Mordecai's like, I love him.
I insight Mordecai. No, I'm kidding.
We know that there are Hey, GM.
What's up, baby?
What relevant information do we know, other than the fact that the tree was split, that the queen is keeping it alive, that there's sort of this trail of rot that is following the magical ley lines spreading from the tree?
Aw, Diana, it's almost like you think I might have a bullet-pointed list of salient facts to review before you head headlong into perilous climbs.
I kind of am in a way, because if you did, that's sort of what Daria would rattle off at this point to Mordecai et al.
You know, every court has a grove. While separate in culture and goals, you have come to understand that all of the groves are interconnected, that they share a pact to protect the power that they harness. And according to Itzhak, it is this power that generates all magical energy for all planes and that balances it between them. In fact, it is this power that keeps the planes apart and solidified in their own existence. To the Fae, this is their sacred task, to be a wellspring for all magic everywhere. But for people like Itzhak, it appears to be a prison for their ambition, a bar above which they may not raise their heads. As a party, you have met 2 acolytes of the Dark Mother. One was chased by Pandora after trying to destroy the Grove of Radiance. And the other was Itzhak Mindkiller, who is dead. So that is about as far as you have gotten with trying to understand what these acolytes of Loth are up to.
So that's about all we know.
We kind of know a lot.
Shall we all go and study, then?
Have you been to the other courts? Do we know if there's been damage anywhere else?
Before all of you were sent to come on this mission, the only court that was damaged was the Court of Radiance. But you don't know if that is true because you had the option to perhaps travel to the Court of Hunger at the start.
Everything's fine.
And see if everything was okay there, but Daria did not want to do that. Exactly.
Oh, I don't need to. They would simply come and find me if there was something wrong. I'm a very important person, you see. Can't you tell by the finery that I wear? They would come and find me if we needed anything, so we should probably just go to the Court of Influence and get this study session over with.
I'm gonna look over at Endo, waiting to, behind your back, basically, and then I'm gonna look over at Endo, that slight head tilt of, is that, are they okay?
Well, wonderful, let's go then.
Yeah, I'm going to sidle up next to Daria. I will maintain eye contact with Pandora. I think we obviously, you know what I mean, vibe for vibe. I feel like, you know what I mean? I'll give you a look that I think evidently enough expresses, we'll let it lie for now, kind of. We'll just leave it alone. And I will kind of link arms with Daria and walk ahead with a very neutral expression.
I'll kind of lean towards Endo just a little bit when she takes my arm and quietly, darling, is everything all right?
I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Just pat her on the arm.
Let's go to the Court of Influence, shall we?
So as the 2 of you, Pandora and Endo, braid your insight checks around Daria, who is playing keep away with all of her secrets, Chad has found his way over to Brock, and he's just watching this with interest. He pops open another can of Pixie. Are they all right? You all just keep lots of secrets from each other or something? Because I'm getting a kind of a vibe.
They're always like that. I think it's just a little bit of the upper classes that I don't quite understand. But no, they're absolutely trustworthy. They've been stalwart companions on the road thus far.
I see.
I do kind of admittedly wonder why they're walking off when you said you were going to teleport us, but I'm sure they've got some very important business to take care of over there.
It's right around this time that Daria realizes she has no idea where she's going and sort of like swings a really wide circle and starts to walk back towards you guys.
Pandora has not moved and has just been waiting by Mordecai.
And Chad is just sitting there with some chalk in his hand, and he like breaks it in two and hands a piece of it to Mordecai. He goes, "All right, get scribbling, buddy." And they both begin drawing this arcane circle on the side of this temple.
Mordecai is a very talented artist. I would not have expected that from a dragonfly. I suppose you learn new things every day.
Wow.
He's a very gifted dragonfly.
Oh, Mordecai, opposable thumbs, dragonfly.
It's in his mouth, all right? It's God.
Don't they have a proboscis? Is he like gripping the chalk with this proboscis and drawing?
No!
Minus 50 DKP from each of you. No more magical items. That's it.
I didn't even get one!
Hold on. What about all of the dead people you robbed of their magical items in episode 3 but didn't tell the party about? You know, Diana, I have to check in. You know that I, your DM, know that you did that, right?
This bullshit.
Can I take 2 seconds actually to talk about the magic items real quick?
So because you have taken a short rest and you have been holding and communing with this moon sickle, you do know that it is the uncommon variety, a +1 silver-bladed sickle that glimmers softly with moonlight.
Oh, I too like soft glimmers.
While holding this weapon, you gain a bonus to attack and damage rolls made with it, and you gain a bonus to spell attack rolls and saving throw DCs of your druid and ranger spells.
Perfect.
The bonus is determined by the weapon's rarity, which for you is uncommon, so +1. When you cast a spell that restores hit points, you can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to the amount of hit points restored, providing that you are actively holding the sickle when you cast it.
Okay. And then the wand.
Ah, yes, the wand that is definitely not a penis. This wand is a wand of magic missiles.
While a dragonfly is arting, I will not interrupt the dragonfly art. Can I, like, seeing Brock just kind of walk over? I saw you down there. I know you're more physical of a fighter. I was just wondering, do you have an affinity to magic as well?
Oh, I'm afraid I do not. I hit things and I hit them very hard, and I'm usually fairly good at getting hit back. I tend to leave the more magical side of things to those who are a bit more academically inclined in such matters.
Of course, I just wanted to know, because this was something that fell out of one's pocket, so I was just wondering if it would be of any use for you, like just to, if you don't have the magic, to have something from far away, perhaps?
My experiences tend to be a little bit more the face-to-face variety. If I might be so inclined to make a suggestion, though, perhaps maybe offer it to Mistress Daria, because I've noted she does have a tendency to get herself into situations where she's getting a little bit beat up. Perhaps somewhat like that might encourage her to stay a little bit further back where it's safer.
As you're saying this, Daria's making that wide loop, almost gets a little too close to the edge, and then weaves back on the path.
It's worth saying that she's still covered in blood right now. Like covered.
Well, when she's hunting that blood, she won't have far to look.
Pandora is uncomfortable right now, and I kind of glance back at Brock and then look back at Daria.
Yes, dear.
Would you have use for this? Endo also didn't really seem interested in it. It's a wand of magic missile. If it's useful to you.
Daria will take the wand sort of gently from Pandora. The whole time it's as if Daria is going to maintain eye contact with Pandora, not to see if this is a trap or a lie or anything. It's almost like she's trying to see how intimidated you are.
You want to roll an insight check? This is a good one.
Heck yes, I do. Guys, this is the most I've like incited in a while. That's 22.
This discomfort, this kind of making herself smaller than she is, a little bit flattening her ears, feeling uncomfortable, is a little bit fake. It's a little bit of like, maybe it's a defense mechanism. Maybe she's used to standing out, and she does this to try to not. As you kind of make eye contact, like, she doesn't look away enough. She actually like maintains eye contact back at you, and it kind of stands out to you.
I love when everybody DMs. It's my favorite game.
I was gonna say, what? This is what you get at a table full of DMs.
I love it.
Then while Daria is sort of maintaining eye contact and taking the wand from you, you'll see a sort of sly grin appear on her face. And she'll just very quietly just say, fascinating, while she takes the wand.
As this moment comes to a close, you hear, all right, ha, Chizity. And he just sort of gives you jazz hands in front of this wall, and all of the chalk begins to pulse and glow with a blue energy. And he goes, y'all ready to go to the Court of Influence? We've said it a lot in the last 30 minutes, so I feel like I'm feeling good about it.
Oh, that's where we were going, yes. Yes.
Chad, have you done this before?
This is maybe like my second and a half time because, you know, the dragonfly did half of it. But I feel like Mordecai's really coming along with his teleportation circle skills, and it's not dangerous.
Well, why don't you go first? Just, you know, to test your handiwork, make sure that it's just the way you want it before we step through.
Oh yeah, no, but we all gotta hold hands. It's a communal experience.
I mean, I'm game.
I go to hold Mordecai's hand.
All right. I firmly grasp Brock and Endo.
Is this like the cool people's table at lunch where we're like, who's holding hands with who?
Mordecai very...
If I had a third hand...
I don't like how you said that. Mordecai very slowly extends
Hand holding of Hadar.
a furry... God, fuck. Hand holding of Hadar?
Know what I'm taking at level 5.
Damn it, Endo. Just let me teleport.
Sorry.
Fucking goons. That's good. But no, it's just a little furry leggy. All right? Not everything here is an eldritch horror of your nightmarescape.
I'm going to take mage hand so I can have 3 hands. I'm sorry.
Let's revisit that.
And you can fire me.
It's fine.
Okay,
I don't want to
get it.
fire you. I just want to go to the Court of Influence.
Actually, can we go to the Court of Hunger instead?
Fine. I have plans for that. It's fine.
Oh, the Court of Hunger's closed today. Don't worry. It's fine.
It is Monday. You know how they are.
I am sweating right now. Y'all are really doing it tonight. All right, so the dragonfly slowly and deliberately extends a furry little leg and puts it in your paw. And then he sidles up and goes, whoop, and just taps his wing onto Chad Dewchug's shoulder. If a dragonfly could smile, he do. The arcane sigil on the wall begins to pulse with energy and looks like a Stargate, for lack of better term.
I like it.
It looks like water all across the wall. He goes, let's go swimming, assholes! And he just begins to back dive into the water.
I'm sorry, did you say swimming?
Yeah.
Like as we're being pulled through.
Chad's confident dive backwards begins to pull you all into this watery portal. And then it is not just the weight of a single fae pulling you, but a surge of power that draws you in and challenges the very laws of gravity itself. Your stomach turns, It's almost like when you first started going up the steps in the labyrinth, but it keeps going. And that's when you realize that something is terribly wrong. Please, everyone, roll a wisdom save.
Oh no. Mordecai, I trusted you.
He's love.
Is this a charm effect?
It is not a charm effect.
Okay, just gotta check.
But that's, listen, good thinking. Good checking.
25.
16.
17.
What if I just felt like re-rolling it though?
Do you have an ability that allows you to re-roll it?
Oh, no.
No.
What is it?
11.
Who wants to roll for Chad?
I do. 1.
Oh, shit.
Best result.
What?
That's it. Yep. We have a dragonfly now. Yep.
Sorry, Chad.
He just called us assholes.
I'll take care of Mordecai after you're gone.
Who wants to roll for Mordecai?
Oh my god.
I'll do Mordecai.
Jesus Christ, what are you rolling over there?
Natural 20.
Protected by the power of friendship.
That's wild!
Wisest dragonfly.
You are moving through space at an incredible speed. Up is down, down is up. You somehow maintain control of your consciousness as you are thrown to a stone and dirt floor.
Brock, Endo, Daria, you're confused, but mostly fine as you struggle to make sense of your new surroundings. Pandora, however, the wind is completely knocked out of you. It's as if somebody slammed the entire world into the center of your back, and you cannot get your breath at first. By the time you do, you suffer 1 level of exhaustion.
Oh, gross. Okay.
This means that until you take a long rest, you now have disadvantage on saving throws and ability checks. As you try to collect yourselves, you will all hear the frantic fluttering of beating dragonfly wings. Mordecai panicked over the horror that Chad Duchug has become. His face is sliced to the bone in a diagonal cut drawn across his face, across his nose. His jaw dislocated, only allowing for pained groans of shock.
I'm sorry I laughed.
The small legs twisted at odd angles, broken at the knee and at the thigh. 1 arm completely missing, leaving the sleeve of his robe sheared off. His eyes are frantic, looking to you for explanation.
Do we get the sense that this is something we could fix?
Roll a medicine check.
Man, yeah, because that's a great modifier. 13.
He certainly isn't dead, though he is very, very close. If you were to leave him here without stabilizing him, he might not be around when you came back.
Should we put him out of his misery?
Looking around, what is around us?
Yeah, where are they?
Behind you is a circular portal. It is inactive. You see kind of bits of that arcane water sort of trying to stretch across and then fizzling out. There is an outer band around the top of the door, and it is decorated with symbols. You see a red eyeball, a golden tree, an amethyst mirror, a standing stone with a rune on it, and a tuning fork. Next to this, there is a huge construct or a golem made of clay and gears, and standing in an alcove beside this portal. It's spitting out bits of fragmented lightning or electrical energy. Its gauntlet-like hand is locked around this huge crank apparatus that is attached to the outer band that moves a little selector token across those symbols, but it seems to be sort of stuck between the tuning fork and another of the symbols. And the golem appears to have taken heavy damage. If you want to roll a perception check, I can tell you a little bit more. And Pandora, you've been here before, so you can have advantage.
I think that makes it a straight roll. 21.
I got 24.
Pandora, the last time you were here, when the portal was intact, there were 2 golems, one on the left and one on the right. The one on the left is the one that's taken heavy damage. You squint from one side of the portal to the other, and you notice on the right-hand side, you can't make out the form of a golem. There's just darkness there. Endo notices you trying to look for something in that direction and moves over. And that's when you discover 2 dust rings around empty footprints. Whatever guardian was here is here no longer.
Where's the other one? Can someone stabilize Chad in some way?
Are we sure we don't want to just put him out of his misery? He's making terrible noises.
So I can help look for. Oh God.
Brock will go over and scoop Chad up into his large hands, and we'll just kind of try to put him inside his thick gardening coat, just to kind of muffle the noise a little bit.
Jesus Christ.
Does he have a mouth that I can pour one of the healing potions I found down?
Yes, Diana, the man has a mouth. I said he had a slice across his face and a dislocated jaw, but a jaw implies the appearance of a mouth at the very least.
I mean, you saying he's all fucked up just seems worth asking. This is like that thing in Galaxy Quest.
He has a mouth. It's just not great.
Where is the mouth?
Yeah, where is it? Is the right question.
Yeah, can I locate the mouth and pour a healing potion in?
All right. To sum up, you pour a healing potion into his damaged craw.
So Chad drinks a potion of healing and receives an amount of hit points. Do you want to roll for it?
I want to roll for it. I don't trust you with shit tonight.
Tonight?
Ma'am. Well, that's a 1, so 1 plus 3, is it?
2d4 plus 4. So it looks like you got 1 on one die and 3 on the other one. So altogether, that would be 4 plus 4, which is 8. 8 points of healing to Chadamus Duchug III.
Okay.
Daria, you pour this potion into Chad's mouth and wait for it to take effect. There is an ugly gasp of air, and suddenly you hear a sickening clicking motion as Chad's jaw begins to partially reset. The blood staunches from his wounds, and he is stabilized. He's not looking his best, but he looks grateful for the amount of relief that you've offered him. It appears his jaw is still sore, and he's having trouble finding the words. He weakly reaches up a finger, sparking to life with just a little bit of blue energy. Tiny silvery blue dewdrops begin winding their way into words. Something appears to be wrong. Ellipses.
Oh, we know.
The spell fizzles as Chad's hand falls weakly to the side, unable to hold it up anymore. And beyond the spell, you peer into the darkness. The earthen walls around the portal and their scraggly little vines and roots sticking out of the side slowly give way to a pristinely smooth stone wall. There are no seams between the floor and the wall and the ceiling, and in some of the more ancient cracks that have developed over the course of time upon time itself, tiny bits of moss run with little white mushrooms. Every so often, a root so large as to be a column's width descends from the ceiling all the way down to the floor, and laid organically into it, vine or wood that is carved reaches out as if holding a tiny little bluebell, inside of which is a magical silvery light source. And dotted down the halls, these lamps breathe together.
Did I go down this hallway, or did I traverse this area when I was here before? And does it look the same?
Pandora, the last time you were here was when Nivane and Itzhak and the rest of their party brought you through this portal to help you get your start in the Feywild.
Oh, this is in the library.
But this is very different. The lights aren't usually so dim. The hallways are usually packed with librarians arguing and poking fun at one another, students getting ready to go to class. There is something quiet and sharp and foreboding.
Well,
Do you speak Infernal?
I speak in
Ah, so then you know that the very breath that utters Infernal is tinged with sulfur and brimstone, and the scent makes your nose wriggle. More librarians. And look, I'm still hungry. Womp womp.
rude.